Okay. All right. 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 Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to everyone who is on TikTok, and also good morning to those persons who are on YouTube at 215 Trades. I hope that you guys are having a lovely day today. And I just want to say welcome to today's stream here with your favorite chef here today, and I'll be looking to see if I can get some entries here today on gold and also on Euro USD. It's now 6:30 a.m. here in London. Okay, and we will be doing a 2-hour live stream today until about 8:30 a.m. Just 30 minutes into the London opening. I'm trying something new as well today on my YouTube. I'm not sure how perfect it's going to go, but I am trying it just the same. If it doesn't work, then I'll try a different platform, basically merging the TikTok chat and the YouTube chat as well from my YouTube viewers so they can actually see what the TikTok persons are actually saying. So let's see how that goes today. Now remember, if you haven't yet liked the video, please definitely go ahead and do so. If you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel as well, which is 215 Trades as well, please ensure you go ahead and do so. All right, now let's get right into it. What we're looking at here right now is basically gold. Last Friday, I'm not sure if you guys, just before I closed out the stream last Friday, I made mention to you of what I was expecting to basically happen and what I would do if it happened. Basically, if price came back into the zone and closed below the zone, I would go for a short in this position, and it did what I said it would do. Well, I didn't take the entry though, because at that point in time I was long off the chart at that day. But when I came back to look to see it, I can see that it topped, price action topped perfectly inside the zone, then rejected from the zone, and did all it needed to do. So that was good. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna remove the drawing here on this, and let's go to where the price action is right now, because we're going to have to do basically redo our zones and start again fresh. It's a new week this week, and I think this week is going to be a great week. What I want to do as well is that I just want to mark the 6:30 price, which would just be right, as a matter of fact, it should be at the closing of that 15-minute candle there. And then I'll just go to EU and I'll just begin to do the markings on the EU and the EU chart as well. So if I just go over to EU and I'll do the markings here on the EU chart as well. These are the structures which were marked on last Friday. I don't like the way the chat looks on YouTube, but my apologies to my YouTube viewers. I will definitely work on that and try to make it a little bit better as well. Maybe at the end of the stream today, I'll try to incorporate the TikTok chat just a little bit more. All right, so let's just remove the drawings here. I'm not going to touch DXY at the moment. DXY, the ranges on DXY, looking at the 15-minute time frame, they're not, I would say I could still possibly work with them. Maybe I could adjust this one just a little bit down here, just a little bit more. And the next one, it's a pretty tall range that though. But yeah, that's fine. I'll leave that range as is. Let me see below. Yeah, I'm okay with the range below as well. All right, that's good. I'll leave the XY as is. Now over to Euro USD. All right, so let's look at the 15-minute time frame, and then let's look at the 6:30 candle. The 6:30 15-minute candle would be right here. Price is going down aggressively though. Then again, I'm not rushing the market anyways, so not too worried by that. All right, so let's go to the fifth. This would be my point of interest. And my viewers as well, can you guys just let me know whether you're on YouTube or you're on TikTok? Can you just let me know if my audio is okay? That's going to be my point of interest. I'm going to be following the rules of the 215 technique. Measuring 7 pips. Thank you very much for that, Dean Delroy. Alright, so this is going to be my sell line. Let me just put that alert right there. Price action is moving down aggressively as well, so I may definitely need to move a little bit faster just the same. And this would be my buy line right here. And inside of this zone will be called my 215 zone. So that's my 215 zone. Let me just move this alert here. And for those who don't know, the reason why I have DXY to the right as well is because the DXY movement, and I'm going to be doing a video on this, is basically the inverse of Euro USD. So if DXY is going up, then Euro USD should be going down, or if DXY is going down, then Euro USD should be going up. All right, so have a look at the 30-minute time frame. Thank you guys for the likes over there on YouTube and TikTok as well. All right, so this is going to be my 30-minute resistance right here. So I'm using the rules of the 215 technique. So I need to identify the higher time frame support and resistance, because the higher time frame support and resistance, they will be used as my target areas if I was to take a long or a short entry. So this is going to be my 30-minute resistance right here. I've already identified the 30-minute support already, and I'm going all the way to the 4-hour time frame. So that's the 30. Now this is going to be my 1 hour, my 1 hour support right here. Okay, and then my 1 hour resistance should be somewhere off here. I can also use the bottom bits of these areas here as well. Can either use the bottom or the top, all depending on whichever part you want to use. It's really your preference, really, and what works for you. So that's the 1 hour resistance. Then the 4 hour, let's have a look. 4 hour, we do have a 4 hour resistance here. That's perfect. I like the structure so far with this Euro USD. All right, good. And now let's go down to the, could use a section here. Yeah, maybe align with the tip of this wick right here as the 4 hour. Morning, my lad. Greetings, my friend. All right, good. So this is going to be my 4 hour support right there. All right, so my entry using the 215 technique, my entry will be on the 5-minute time frame. Ultimately, what I'm looking to see happen is that I'm looking to see a candle to close below my my 215 zone for me to consider taking short, or if it reversed and close above my 215 zone as well, then I will look to basically consider taking longs. And I will also be using the 15-minute DXY chart as confluence as well. So that should be decent. Okay, TikTok acting up already. All right, just a moment. Okay. All right, remember to hit that like button, my friends. Okay. All right. Where were we? So that's it for Euro USD. Euro USD is properly marked out now, and I'll just basically wait for a 5-minute candle closure above or below my range for me to be considering taking longs or short in this instance. Now over to gold. Wow, look at that already. Gold is moving up aggressively. That should be fine though. All right, let's put the 215 zone, apply the 215 technique here on gold. All right, so if my point of interest is at 3311, that means then my buy line should be 3313, because I'm just adding $2 to it, or 20 pips. This is going to be my buy line. Doing the same as that, still on the 15-minute time frame, so I can basically see where the structures are. So that's going to be 339.989 as well. This is going to be my sell line, and then this in this little area here is going to be my 215 zone. Alright, so that's going to be my 215 zone. I need to find my rejection areas just above my 215 zone here, so I'm just going to measure 15 pips above, which possibly it does align with this support resistance area here. So this is going to be my 15-minute rejection right there, and I'm doing the same as well just below. So this is going to be my 15-minute rejection on the downside. All right, cool. So I need to go to the higher time frames to identify my support and my resistance on my higher time frame. So This would be my 30-minute support, not 30-minute support here. This is going to be my 30-minute resistance or my first TP if I was to take a long position. 30-minute support is going to be right here as well on the downside, and then 1 hour 1 hour resistance. I'm just going to put it right here. You can put it at the top or the bottom, whichever preference you want. It will touch the top, it touched the bottom before it touched the top anyways in this instance. So that's going to be my 1 hour resistance. Oh wow, my 1 hour support is quite some distance away. That's fine. I'll just put it there. That's the structure. Then my 4 hour resistance, well, as you can see, is basically just right there on the top of that. Let's give it some space though. I'll just put it maybe at the tip of these wicks. So this is going to be my 4 hour resistance, and I'll just use here as my 4 hour support. Now these are just my target areas are my rejection points, all depending on the entry model that I'm taking. Looking here at the 4 hour time frame, we can see where price has come into this key support area here, and it's now rejecting as well. It can actually go back to these areas here and reject the basic for price to actually continue downwards. However, let's see how the price action plays out today and see what it wants to do in today's session. So let me just remove these as well. Let's go back to the 5-minute time frame just to have a quick look at my entry model for today. Which line is this? Is this a buy line? All right, let's move this buy signal here. What signal is this? Is this a sell signal? What's this? Yes, this is a sell signal. Let's put that sell signal right there. Let's refresh the chart settings so I can see it a little bit better. Now, ultimately, this is what I am looking for me to consider to take any longs or shorts there on gold. So I need to see price break above my zone as it's doing now. I need to see test my 15-minute rejection line, pull back inside. Hold on. Yeah, so I need to see price break my zone, test my 15-minute rejection line, pull back inside of my zone with a candle close on the inside, followed by a rejection from my zone and a candle closure between my buy line and my 15-minute rejection line. Right, if I do see that price action movement here on XAU, then I'll consider to take a long position here on that. But on the reverse of that, if it's going to go for a sharp position, I like to see it break my zone, test my 15-minute rejection, pull back inside of my zone with a candle close on the inside, followed by another candle close on the outside, basically rejecting the zone to say that it wants to actually continue lower. So price has broken above my 15-minute rejection line on the buy side. So I'm going to move my alert from that 15-minute rejection line because it has been properly tested. Put it on my buy line there, and then I'll just wait for price to come back to that area. It's now 6:50 a.m. here in London. Anyways, the London market does open in the next hour and 10 minutes. So I'm just waiting for the price action to basically test my points here on gold and also on Euro USD. As you can see, DXY is pushing down here in zone 1, right? It's pushing down here in zone 1, and because it's pushing down, you can see the inverse reaction here on Euro USD, where the price action on EU is actually continuing higher. So I will wait to see if I get a 5-minute candle closure above or below the 215 zone to basically enter position to target the higher time frame support or resistance, all depending on what entry I receive. As you can see, we're getting a pullback here now on gold. Not yet back into the zone though, so still not ready for any positions just yet. Remember guys, if you haven't yet liked the stream, please go ahead and do so. As additionally as well, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, which is 215 Trades, please ensure you go ahead and do so. So this is the price movement here in gold right now. I guess usually at the hourly closures, there's normally a bit more volume coming in at the hourly closure, which this hourly candle is going to close in like the next 6 minutes or so. So we should be seeing some volume coming in on that hourly candle closure as well. And in the next hour after that, we have the London market opening as well. So if price action has just tested the 15-minute rejection, pretty decent test as well. It has tested it with a candle closed above versus just testing it with a wick. So I'm just looking now for rejection from this area back into my 215 zone. If it comes back into my 215 zone and closes inside my 215 zone, then that's good. And then once it rejects from my 215 zone with a candle close above my buy line in between my 15-minute rejection line here, then I'll be looking to consider taking a long position in this instance. If I was to take a long position, this is how I'd basically manage it. What this entry would be basically an entry one model of the 215 technique. So I will basically put that entry there with my stop loss just at the bottom of my 215 zone, and I'll extend my TP full TP, which basically be at my 4-hour resistance. Once price action hits my 30-minute resistance line right here, which I believe should be about 20 or 30 pips from the zone, at that point in time I will take off my my risk and possibly downsize as well, basically taking partials at that point in time, and I'll hold the position until it goes from my 30 to my 1 hour to my 4 hours, because my 30 minutes of resistance will ultimately be my TP1. My TP2 would be my 1 hour resistance, and my TP3 would basically be my 4-hour resistance. And I'll do the same as well on the reverse if it was a case where price action actually does pull back below the range and was to confirm a short below the zone. So it would basically be the reverse of the above, where my SL would be at the top of the range, at the top of the 215 zone, right? And my TP would usually be my 4 hour, but in this instance it's pretty, there wasn't any close, the 4 hours all the way down here. Actually, you could extend it down there, but I think if it was to confirm a short, I would manage it a little bit different in an instance, because in between my 30-minute support and my 1 hour support, it's like it's a massive range. That's like 100 pips right there. So I will manage it a little bit different, possibly looking at the 15-minute time frame to see like the 15-minute support. So we do have a 15-minute support here just below that 30-minute support. So let's say I highlight this section right here and maybe use that section as like TP2 as well, and see just to make sure, because it's a massive range that is. So I'll possibly use this 15-minute support as a TP. Yeah, so TP1 would be my 30, then this would be my TP2, TP3. Um, well, I guess we're using TP4 four TPs on that chart if it was to confirm a sharp position. So that is what I will ultimately be looking to do, depending on how gold does play out with the price action. As you can now see clearly here is that the price is still above my 215 zone. It's now 6:57 a.m. here in London, and we have an hour until the London market opens. It hasn't done anything as yet for me to consider taking any positions right now, so I'm just waiting on that. Now on the EU side, that's another story, because if this 5-minute candle does close above my range, I will be looking to take a long position from basically here, putting my SL just at my point of interest, about 7 or 8 pips, and I'll be targeting my higher time frame resistance. So that's ultimately what I'll be looking for in this instance. I can see where the DXY chart is pushing down as well. It's pulling back up as well, and you can see that's why you're getting a bit of rejection or a small pullback here on EU. So I'm just waiting patiently for this candle to come and close above my zone. As soon as the price hits my 30-minute resistance, in that instant what I'll do is that I'll take the risk off the board, and then I will basically manage the position and use my 30-minute resistance as my first TP. TP2 would basically be my 1-hour resistance, and my 4-hour resistance will be my final TP as well in that position there. If it was to go for a short, it would be the same, what would I say, the same management style, where if I was to get a close below the range right there, my SL would be at my point of interest, so it's between 7 or 8 pips, all depending on how far it actually does close from the zone. And my 30-minute support will be my TP1 at some distance away, so I might incorporate some other TP measurement there, whether it's going on to the 15-minute time frame or basically just waiting until I have gone down about 7 pips in profit. So maybe just about right here, then I could basically look as to reduce my risk if I'm not comfortably with holding it all the way to that 30-minute support. So it's pretty much the same management style that I'm going to incorporate here on EU. Is the same management style that I'm going to be incorporating here on XAU USD. So that is what I'm ultimately looking for today. We can see where price action is coming back down inside the zone, which is rejected nicely. It's now 7 a.m. here as well in London, and we do have the London market opening in about an hour as well. It's the start of a new week as well, so let's see. So I would like to see if price could actually come back in my zone and distribute itself and then confirm an entry. Let's have a look back at EU. Likewise, it will be the same here as well for EU. I can see where EU is being distributed evenly inside of my zone. Can see where it tested that buy, came down, tested that sell, coming back, tested that buy, and is now pulling back as well. So when you have a price action being moved around inside the 215 zone like that, it's good. Why it's good is because it's sort of like a squeeze in a sense, where if it's being squeezed inside the zone, as soon as it does confirm an entry, it should basically go in that direction with some momentum. That's the general idea of that. So waiting to see what is going to happen in this instance. All right, so is this on the 15-minute time frame? Let's switch that to the 5-minute, because on the 5-minute time frame is a time frame that we use to take entries when I'm using the 215 technique. Can see where gold has just tested the waters of the zone, haven't closed inside the zone, so still waiting patiently on that. What do you guys think the price action is going to do today on YouTube? Do you think the price action on gold is going to go up, or it's going to go down? If you think it's going to go up, just put up in the chat. If you think it's going to go down, put down in the chat. Also, my viewers as well on TikTok, let me know what you think the price action on gold is going to be doing today in the London session. All right, Dean is saying price action is going to go up. Well, yeah, that's ultimately what I think as well. That it may be looking to actually may not go up pretty far, but it should go up at a decent enough distance. Because this candle has is now inside my zone. Let's have a look at DXY. And this is a tricky part as well, because DXY has been consolidating here in zone 1, which may be, you know, we could get a possibly fake out in one direction only to see a reversal as well. So pretty interesting to see there. S is saying feeling it is going up as well, to be honest, but looking at it, it might have more momentum going down as well. Yeah, it's always a 50-50 chance. I don't think anyone knows like 100% what direction the market is going to go, unless you are making the markets, or if you have the funds to basically move the market, and I guess you can maybe manipulate it to the direction where you want it to. The market makers, in a sense. Let's see. So since opening, gold has basically moved by 40 pip, but I think that a lot more has happened in Asian session. Let's have a look at where did the market open. So that's the 9:15 on the 6th. So that was on Friday. So market opened here at that 30-minute resistance. It did fall from that 30-minute resistance all the way down to, that's the lowest price point. So it did go down by 240 pip if you really look at it, as it came down to that 1 hour support. Pretty decent entry 2 here as well on that 1 hour support. As you can see, pretty decent entry 2 here. Lovely entry 2 as well. Friday's buy let you down. Yeah, sometimes it really does happen, and it was some high impact news as well, I believe, on Friday. Pretty decent entry 2 here for those who know entry 2 of the 215 technique. Perfect entry 2, because as you can see here, price was coming down, hit that 1 hour support, then rejected with 2 candle closures going in the opposite direction. And I'm pretty sure that these candles are less than 15 pips. Oh, 16 pips. So that's perfect, actually. So it didn't quite exceed that. So you could have actually looked to take a long in this area using the entry tool, model stop loss just below that. So it would have been pretty tight though, in a sense. It did try to reach down for that SL, but either ways, it would have been a pretty decent move for you to take an entry 2 from right there and target the higher highs. But we're trading in the Asian session. Haven't traded the Asian session in a while, So I've just been hanging out here in the London session. Now remember guys, if you haven't yet liked the stream, please go ahead and do so. Additionally as well, if you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, which is 215 Trades on YouTube, please go ahead and do so as well. So price is now inside my 215 zone here, as you can see. We have a candle closure inside. If it was to reject from that zone and close above the zone, then I could look to go for a long position in this instance. DXY still consolidating in the zone as well. So it's all about being patient. It's all about waiting. That's where we are today. That's what we have to do today. So it's just about waiting here. Just be patient. Just wait for an entry to confirm. Gold is crossing back the buy line already, as you can see. Well, I haven't entered the position yet. But if this candle closes in between that buy line and that 15-minute rejection, then I'll enter at that point in time. However, my TP would basically be at the higher time frame resistance. So from the 30 to the 1 hour to the 4 hours. So TP1 would be my 30-minute resistance, TP2 would be my 1 hour resistance, and then TP3 would be my 4-hour resistance in that instance. So that is what ultimately I'm looking for. Let's see. So price has tested my 50-minute rejection line and has rejected nicely back inside the zone. I do have a candle closure here on the inside of the zone. So all I need to now see is this candle right here, just for it to close. But I'd like to see it to close in this range here. It needs to close in this range. And once it does that, then I'll look to take an entry off of that candle as well. So 50 seconds. So let's see what it's going to do. If it close outside of that zone, then that's not good. I'll have to wait for it to come back to the range. On EU, getting a rejection, price has come back down, tested at point of interest. I really do like how the price action is right now here on EU. So I'll just wait patiently because it's being distributed nicely across the 215 zone. So once an entry is confirmed, it should move smoothly to where we want it to be. Gold is doing its thing. Hasn't confirmed an entry just yet. TP1 price will basically be at 3318. All right, that closed just below. I'm just going to enter that buy here on gold. Let's remove that. So ultimately what happened is that, as you can see, price has actually broken that 215 zone, tested my 15-minute rejection, pulled back to my zone with a candle close on the inside, followed by a candle close just actually in the area where I wanted to be here. So I just entered a long position here on gold, looking to target the higher time frame resistance as my TP. So TP1 being at that 30-minute resistance, and TP2 being at that 1 hour resistance, and I'll just manage the profits as price goes on. That is a pretty early entry though, because it's only just 7:11 here as well. Pretty early entry, but just the same, enter that just now. So let's see how price action is going to play out. Let's have a quick look at EU here. We do have price action pushing up as well to the buy line area here on EU. So waiting to see what's going to happen here as well in EU, because if we just get that 5-minute candle closure to close just above my 215 zone here, DXY is pushing down as well, so that's pretty good as well. So let's see what's going to happen. Nice timing. Yeah, so 2 minutes left until this candle closes, so let's see what's going to happen on that. DXY is pushing down aggressively with that 15-minute candle closure, but I'm waiting patiently. I have in the past couple of days on EU, I really like taking entries in EU, but in the past couple of days I've realized that I've gotten into a bad habit of where I am entering early on EU, and that's causing some issues with the P&L. So what I'm not going to be doing now is that I'm not going to be entering early here on EU. I need to wait patiently until that candle closes above. If it doesn't close above, then I'll just wait for the next candle to basically test and retrace to the zone. If it doesn't do that, then I just miss out on that entry. So I'm trying to get back into that discipline that I had before, so I'm waiting for it. So let's see what's going on here. Let's have a quick look on gold. Gold is still consolidating just above the entry price point there, almost at TP1. In an instance, TP1 is just about 20 pips, I believe, away. Yeah, 25 pips away. So let's see what's going to happen here. As well, need to see strong momentum as well to break it, because if we look on that 30-minute time frame, we can see here where this was a major selling point as well. When the price action came into this 30-minute resistance area here, it was a major selling point where price did actually dump down. And that's what one of the key things as well that we should always remember, is that at a resistance, there's always going to be a lot of selling pressure. It doesn't have to be a lot, but people tend to sell quite a bit at resistance, and then people tend to buy quite a bit at support. So that's why it's my first TP, and it's also going to be where I go break even and take some partials in this instance, just in case people actually do that, where they'll short it. So just to be on the safe side, then that's what I would do. So let's see, it's still going nicely, not yet at that TP1, but it's in nicely, going nicely here. Let's have a quick look here on EU. 5 minutes until this candle closes, is not above the zone, so I still have to wait. I'm just gonna have to now wait for another 5 more minutes until this candle actually does break the zone. And it's now 7:15 a.m. here in London. London market does open in the next 45 minutes at 8 a.m. Now remember, if you haven't yet subscribed, if you haven't yet liked the channel, please go ahead and do so. If you're on TikTok and you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, which is 215 Trades, please definitely go ahead and hit that button as well. That's 215 Trades. As well. All right, let's see. So EU is doing its thing. Gold is doing its thing as well, almost at TP1 here on gold. And as soon as it hit that TP1 target, then I will go ahead. You know what? Let me just put this here. So this is TP1, and then here as well will be TP2. It's a little bit difficult today because I'm not in my usual studio, so I don't have the luxury of 3 monitors today. I only have 1. But the show must go on. So that's TP1. TP2 is right here on that. Let's put it below so it has more space. That's TP2, and then TP3 is going to be my 4-hour resistance right there. All right, good. So that has just tested that TP1. Price hasn't quite broken it just yet. So TP2 3361. Wow, that's a massive jump from our price entry, because our price entry is at 3315. So my TP2 is at 3322. No, TP2 is at 3322. Waiting for TP1 to be hit decently. I'm going in a bit different to you, but we will still see green. Okay, all right, no problem at all, my friend. All right, TP2, TP1, oh, TP1, sorry. All right, so EU has just tested my my buy line. Still hasn't closed above my zone as my buy line as yet, so I'm still waiting on that. Remember to hit that like button, my friends, if you haven't yet done so. Only have about 400 likes here. If we could get those likes up to 1,000, I would really appreciate it. Just taking TP1 there just now. That was about 20 pips thereabouts. So let's see what's going to happen now. Secure some partials on that touch for TP1. Waiting to see if we can get a break off that TP. We need to see a break. We need to see a 5-minute candle close above that 30-minute resistance. Reason being, as I said, on the 30-minute time frame, you can see here where this area was a pretty strong selling area as well. So we need to see the momentum to actually push and break it. Ultimately as well, if you look at DXY, DXY needs to break into zone 0 here from zone 1, because the momentum of DXY is basically what is pushing gold in the background and also affecting the price action here on EU. So we need to see a massive push down here on gold, because on DXY we can't see where DXE gold right now is struggling a bit. It just hit TP1, but it is struggling a bit to continue higher here as well. I want to see if it's a case where you're just gonna get taken out on PE on that R1. But let's see. Waiting patiently just to see the price action, how it's going to go. I'm even now more confident to take a long position here on EU if it does get confirmed, because price keeps going testing and pulling back, keep going and testing as well. But let's have a closer look here at DXY, because DXY is in zone 1. We can clearly see that. However, there's a bit of a support being formed right here. There is a support formed right here on the 15-minute time frame here on DXY, which, as you can see, price is coming down into the support area, but it's being rejected. So it's coming into the support area right here, but it's being rejected. It hasn't quite yet broken below it. We would love to see a 15-minute candle close below this area, which would be a pretty good thing as well. So let's see as well what is going to happen here. 5 minutes, well, 3 minutes until this candle closes. If this candle does close above that zone, then I'll look to take a long position here on EU. Need to also watch it as well, because not only do I need to watch this area, but when it's usually when the DXY price action is crossing into another zone, because these areas are actually like supports, and as I said to you before, there's usually quite a bit of buying pressure at support. It may actually reject, right? It may reject when it tries to pass into zone 0 as well. So we need to see how it's going to react to it. It could just very well just fall and just break and continue to dump, which is good, which is what I would like to see. But I still have to be conscious of these areas as well when it's crossing into another zone as well, because another zone basically means that it has hit a support or a resistance. Nice. This is a perfect move here. Perfect move here. I'm taking my risk off the board at this moment. So basically, TP1 has been successfully secured and going now. So I just want to see if we can get TP2 here as well. If you haven't yet taken partials, please ensure you go ahead and do so. So DP1 decent. We need to see a candle close though. We need to see a perfect candle close above that 30-minute resistance, because if you don't get a candle, wait a minute. Yeah, though, because usually if you take a position on XA, you could take that same position on the reverse as well. Not reverse, but you could in if the mathematics is correct behind the scene, you could also take that same position on EU as well. So we need to see that 5-minute candle close above that 30-minute resistance, because if we don't see that 5-minute candle closing above that 30-minute resistance, we could be in for some turbulence in a sense. So let's have a quick look at DXY. DXY is still pushing down nicely on that 5-minute. We still haven't had a close below the not below, above the buy line here in EU for me to consider taking longs as yet. But DXY still is pushing down just a bit. Gold is pushing up nicely as well, as you guys can see here. Remember guys, this is the 215 technique. If you don't know how to do the technique, what I would recommend for you to do is definitely head on over to YouTube and subscribe to 215 trades so you can learn how to use this technique in your entries. All right, so that's good. We are at TP1. We're up nicely. Already hit TP1. I've removed my risk from the board. We're up 40 pips already on this move right now. If it's a case where you want to take some partials here before it actually hitting TP2, then that's fine. It's all up to you on how you want to manage your position. Remember as well, there's no financial advice here. I'm just some random guy here on the internet. I'm not sure who is even on YouTube today. Not really hearing much from my YouTube viewers, to be honest. But thank you guys for liking the live. If you could, I haven't even hit 1,000 likes as yet, and you guys have seen such a lovely entry here today on gold, and I'm not yet at 1,000 likes. So sad. All right, let's look at EU. EU is teasing. You see, EU is teasing, but this on the 15-minute time frame, we can't see that buy line is a 15-minute support, but on the price action is struggling to break it. So if this candle can now close above that range, it would be perfect for me to go for that long position as well. So let's see here what's gonna happen. Gold is at TP2 already. Not well, it hasn't hit TP2 just yet. We're just taking TP1 just now, and we're getting a pretty strong rejection. Hopefully you guys did take some profit. That was like the for 40 to 50 pip move anyways. So you guys should be up nicely on that if you had entered. As said, I'm doing it a bit different to you, but we'll still see green. What did you mean by that, S? Do you mind just giving me a little bit more information on that, just a bit? It's now 7:27 a.m. here as well. London market opens in about 33 minutes as well. Up pretty nicely. All right, good. So we're now at 1,000 likes on TikTok. Thank you guys so much for that. So my the market. My the I. So, okay, all right, let's go. So my DI marked it up, and I total buys TP1 15 pips on TP2 30 pips. Hence, okay. Oh, so you do okay? That makes sense. So not so necessarily so not necessarily you're not basically going after like the resistance or the support for your TPs. What you're basically doing is that you're putting a number figure on the amount of pips that you want. So I'm guessing that you do it by 15 pip increments. So your TP1 would be at 15, TP2 would be at 30, and I'm guessing that your TP3 would be at about 45 pips. Okay, yeah. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. That's a very good idea as well. DXY is rejecting, as you can see, and this is one of the key reasons why as I said, I have been taking entries. So as you guys can see over the past couple of days, I have been taking entries on EU, not waiting for the candle to actually do close above that zone, and I have been paying for it greatly. So to avoid that, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm waiting patiently just to make sure that these entries do confirm correctly before I actually do take an entry on EU. Gold is still going up as it can. Well, this 5-minute candle does show in some sign of rejection, but I can see where we do have a pretty decent candle close above that 30-minute resistance line. As well, and if this fifth, and we do also have a 50-minute candle close above as well, so this should be some good. There should be some good momentum here if we just continue to push up like that for us to actually do see TP2 here today. So I'm just waiting for that. Year 215 start helps. Thanks. Yeah, no problem at all. As I really do hope that you are also a subscriber as well on my YouTube channel as well. If you're not, please definitely go ahead and do so. So for those who are just coming on late here, using the 215 technique just to look for entries, that's the 215 zone. You can see where the price action broke above the zone. You can see where the price action broke above the zone here, tested that 15-minute rejection, then rejected, pulled back, retraced back to the zone, closed inside the zone, followed by another candle closure above the zone between the buy line and also the 15-minute rejection. This was a perfect entry as well, because it almost closed above that 15-minute rejection line, and if it had, I would basically had waited before I had entered, but it closed just below that line, and I took it, entered there. Took my risk off the board when it hit TP1. Took some partials there as well, and the price action is running smoothly right now. As you can see, we went up by about 50 pips, partials taken and all of that at PE. So now we're just waiting just to see if we can get it back to TP3 or even TP2 in this instance, because I believe TP2 might be about 100 pip, maybe not 70, so that's not too bad. So waiting on that to see how that works out. EU as well is still being distributed inside the zone. I've not lost hope as yet on EU, because as you can see here, as I have a closer look at DXY, you can see here where DXY is rejecting from this 50-minute support here. It has wicked down, hasn't broken below it, but it's still showing signs that it wants to test it again. So I just need to wait to see. Hey, morning, Manny. Where have you been, man? I'm just waiting patiently to see if it's going to push down and close below here as well. So there's still a lot of downward pressure here on DXY. So it's just that EU might be a little bit slow to get where we want it to, and gold might just be a little bit slow just to get me to TP3. I must apologize for those who are in the Telegram group as well. Sadly, I am not home, so I don't have the luxury of my 3 screens as well, and I'm also even using my phone as well to take entries, because I can't take entries on the PC, on the laptop. So I'm back home though tomorrow, so should be back to business as well. So waiting, so we just hit TP1, partials taken, waiting for TP2, getting a bit of a rejection here as well. And the thing is as well, even if it does come back to the zone, I can still look to take another entry for long if it confirms the same reaction again, if it rejects from that 215 zone anyways. At least now I know where my higher time, my TPs are going to be targeting, wherever it created that resistance as well. Thank you guys so much for hitting that like button over there on TikTok. So we're now at 1,000 likes. If we can only just get those likes up to about 2,000, I would really appreciate it, my friends. .34 a.m. here. Manny, you did ask about the Discord. I have created the Discord. I'm not ready just as yet, just to share it as yet, but I am still working on that Discord, and as soon as it is ready, I will share it in the main Telegram group so everyone can join. Oh, yeah, DXY is rejecting from that support area. Yeah, we shall. Starting tomorrow, I will begin to resend all of my things back in the premium group. Until then, as I said, can't send anything today because I'm just streaming on 2 platforms on 1 PC with 1 screen and all of that. So we'll begin tomorrow again as normal, build back the momentum as well. I really want to get back into having those Zoom sessions as well, but we shall get there. I'm not going anywhere. I'm always going to be here, always going to be in the markets. So let's go. Yeah, we definitely need to see that DXY close below that support area here. You see, it's being pretty strong. It is being pretty strong, and if we can get that close below, then we should see the ultimate push here on EU, and then we can also see they're gonna kill it this summer. Definitely, man. I like that. I like that energy, my friend. I love that energy. All right. It's moving up pretty nicely there. Yeah, we need to see this kind of close screen to break that down momentum. Need to see DXY close below this area on that 15-minute as well. Remember guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, that's 215 Trades on YouTube, please go ahead and do so. Today is the 9th. Today is the 9th of June. It's now 7:30 a.m. here in London. London market opens in the next 12 minutes. No, where did I get my maths from? In the next 22 minutes is when the London market is open. Already in a position already though, so that's good. Pretty early though as well, and not too bad as well. Yeah, I don't want to see a red candle, another red candle close here, because that's gonna create signs as if it wants to melt. Morning, Sylvia. Welcome. Chef, how do I subdivide my DXY with 3 zones like what I should be looking at? Yeah, I can definitely show you that, money. All right, so if you're using Trading View, at the top here, it has this little. Let's go back. Let me go back to DXY to EU. So at the top. All right, no, let me go back to EU to gold. All right, so at the top right here, it has this little box that says layout setup. So if you click that box, it gives you all the options where you can switch it. So you can switch it to say that you want two side by side, or if you want, let's say maybe 3. I'm not sure why you'd want to look at 3 charts at the same time, but I'm guessing, okay, so for my I'm not upgrading any more than that, so I'm guessing you can't have it on an essential plan. You can't go more than 2. You'd have to upgrade to plus to get 4, but I'm sticking to essential. I'm not going any further than that. So if you have that, you can switch it to that. So but it's at the top right here where you can switch it. Nice. All right, good. So hit that 30-minute resistance, and we're now pushing back up. That's what I want to see. On EU as well, we're getting that push down. So if we can get that 50-minute candle here on DXY to close below the support that it has already created here in this area, then that's going to be pretty decent. Yeah, no problem at all, money. That's what I'm here to do, just to pass on the little that I do know. So if we can get that close below, then that would be nice, and we could see that strong push here. As I said, I like when the price is being distributed inside my 215 zone, because at least then I know that the price is being squeezed and I could get it a push in my direction where I want it to go. All right, guys, remember to hit that like button. We're at 1.5k likes. If we could get that to 2,000, I would genuinely appreciate it. Man, it's such a struggle doing all of this here on one screen. Okay, that's good. All right, let's see if we can get to TP2 here. Weather is not too bad here in London today. It's not too bad. Well, it's not sunny. Definitely sure not sunny, but it's not too bad because it's not raining. It has been raining quite a few very often these last days. Come on, guys, if we can get those likes up to 2k likes, I would really appreciate it. All right, good. So we're pushing up nicely. How many persons are still in and holding this position today? I don't know. Today it seems a little bit, I don't know. I think I'm being held back on YouTube, and I'm also being held back on TikTok. But I'm guessing, as you guys said, is because I'm not showing there's no face on the channel. Just as that. I already have the equipment, so I'll set it up when I'm back home. Have a quick look here at DXY. Okay, good. So we have DXY now has just pushed past that 50-minute support that it has been struggling so long to beat. It is pushing down aggressively as well, so we should be seeing that reverse here, that upward push here on gold. So this is okay for now. We can just leave this for right now. But on EU, there's a little bit of an entry being cooked up right now here. So let's see if I can eat some decent pips here, some lovely pips here on EU. Pushing down aggressively, coming down into that range. We still have 1 minute until this candle closes. We also have 1 minute as well until this 5-minute candle closes here on EU. So if it does close above that range, not too far from that range, then I would look to take a long position, putting my SL just at my point of interest here, then targeting the higher time frame support, well, resistance in this instance for my target areas. Yeah, I need to see a break and close above here. What does this look like on the 50-minute time frame? 50-minute time frame has broken that 30 minutes of 30-minute resistance here. There's also a 30-minute resistance, which I'm guessing that's why it's struggling here on the 5-minute time frame. There's a 30-minute resistance there as well, so that could be why it's. Oh no, that's not a 30. That's a 50-minute. Oh, there's a 50-minute. There's a 50-minute resistance right here. It could be the reason why it's struggling there a bit, but it's still good, still fine. We're still above TP1, and we're just waiting for to hit TP2. All right, so DXY has done something great right here with that candle close below that zone, and it's pushing down aggressively. I think I'm going to miss that entry here on EU. I think now, because it's pushing down so aggressive, ultimately EU is gonna fly. I know it's gonna fly with this down move. because this down move is going on aggressively, but I'm not seeing the conversion here on EU. So EU, when it does happen, it's gonna fly. Look, so that's we have 4 minutes on this candle. This candle is just gonna skyrocket. But as I said, I'm not entering without a candle close, and it has to close properly as well. Additionally, as well, you can see here where DXY is basically already at which zone is that? Which zone is this? Is that the crossing of zone 0, the border for zone 0? There could also be some reaction as well here as well. So just need to I'm just waiting at this point in time. I'm not forcing it, I'm not rushing it, I'm just waiting at this point in time. There's no need for me to rush here in this instance. Look at that, skyrocketing already. Yeah, and this 5-minute candle has about 3 minutes left, so this could just push ultimately all the way up. Do we have a bank holiday for EU? Surprisingly enough, let me just double check on that. I don't think we do. All right, there's a French and a German bank holiday, so not the entire EU population. So there's a France. So I'm guessing France and Germany. There's a bank holiday today, in those sectors. But I'm not worried about bank holidays as well, because it's not the EU is not only being affected by EU, it's also being affected by the US dollar as well. So the market is still going to move. As you can see, the market is still moving right now. If I had entered early, then we would be up, if you want to say so. But yeah, I think this position is just gonna leave me today. That's fine though. Getting back to that discipline area here on EU, I'm not trying to force any entries. If it doesn't close and confirm properly, yeah. So I wouldn't worry about the bank holidays, whether if it's a USR or whatever holiday it may be, because the market is going to still move just the same. Because EU is against the US dollar. The US dollar is still moving. There's no holiday on that. 1 minute until this candle close. What's gold doing? Oh, nice. Didn't even see that, because I'm doing. So I'm not even signed in. I'm not even, because I can't open so many. Well, I don't want to open so many applications right now. So I'm trading on my phone and I'm streaming on TikTok on the PC as well, with only one screen today. All right, so we're almost at TP2 here, almost at TP2, up pretty nicely. I'm not sure how many of you guys still held, or if you guys did enter. Almost 60 pips. So actually TP2 is going to be at around 70 plus pips. I'm not sure if S is still holding that position or if he's out. I'm not sure if you guys did actually take that position as well. Sylvia, how are you doing today? Still holding. All right, nicely. Good. So almost at TP2 here, and as soon as it hits TP2, I will take some partials again there, and then I'll just leave the remaining to hit that TP3 target. Yeah, that 5 minute candle did close above that zone, but it closed too far away. So yeah, I'm not going to take that entry here on EU. Yeah, that closed too far away. That's fine. I guess you can still enter here if you want, and only just use that 7 pip stop loss if you want. However, even though it's gonna go up, no longer matches the criteria for me to use to enter on EU anyway, so I'm not going to take that. Chef, you could just hold that trade up to 3340. Don't you think that's the resistance zone? 3340. All right, TP2, we're at TP2, 3340. But there are going to be multiple resistance zone, Manny. So let's have a quick look. Let's look at the 30-minute time frame just to see what is at 3340. Where's 3340? Is this area where you're looking at 3340? All right, so 3340 is here. It's not a bad area. Just at the bottom of these wicks. Let's have a quick look at maybe the 1 hour to see what's there. Yeah, we could hold it. We could hold it until 3340. But I think we just hit TP2. Just hit TP2 and push into TP3 right now. And by the looks of it, looking at DXY coming through zone 0 here and coming down aggressively, Mike could very well just hold, as you said. But that 4-hour resistance could also be a pretty strong rejection point as well. May never know. But let's see. At TP2 here though. Getting a bit of a rejection. Yeah, so if I'm going to look to take any positions here on EU, I need to see come back to the zone for me to go for it. But yeah, back to you, Manny. Looking at this now. That what you call it? 3340 does seems to be quite a distance, quite a distance away. Not to say that we won't or we can't get there, because that's like over 200 pips, and that means then I possibly might have to hold it into the New York session as well. And then we also have the London opening in about 7 minutes as well. And if the London is opening in about 7 minutes, we could see some pretty strong rejection as well. Because look, let's look at the 4-hour time frame, right? This is the 4-hour time frame, right? This is the 4-hour time frame, and if you look to the left, you can see here where this area right here on the 4-hour time frame is the resistance area, right? It's a pretty strong resistance area because, as you can see, price came into it twice, and each time it came into it, it rejected. Right, it did break through it once, but we also have to be cautious of that and just keep that in mind, that price could actually do come back into this 4-hour resistance and then sell off again, you know, to even go back to even the 215 zone as well. But I guess what I could do is that, because we just now at DP2, so we only have 1/3 of the position still live, unless I'm going to split that, you know what I mean, unless I'm going to split that position to say I'm going to hold it beyond TP3 as well. But as well, I'm not in this instance as well, I don't really want to be greedy as well, because if you think about it, I've already up 80 pips already on that. 100 pip move in one day, that's nice. That's very good. So holding that just to see what's going to happen here. And that EU sadly has not closed in the area which I wanted it to basically close. Still close too far above my zone. So ultimately I would need to see price to come back to my zone for me to consider taking that long position as well. As I said, going back to my discipline area, I'm not forcing any entries here on EU, not one at all. It's now 7:55 a.m. The London session opens in about 5 minutes, so we should see some reaction um, here from the London market. Remember, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, which is 215 Trades on YouTube, please definitely go ahead and do so. Really do appreciate the love and the support here. Thank you as well, Sylvia, for those gifts. I don't know, TikTok is saying that my content is unoriginal. Wow. I don't know what to do here with TikTok, my friends. Really don't know what to do. Not sure how much original my content could be. Alright, good. Getting a nice, decent push here. Dance. Really? Yeah, I don't know what to do here with TikTok. Well, the only thing I haven't tried is just having that the webcam on. But yeah, that's crazy because they restricted the live to say that my content is unoriginal, so they're not suggesting it. That's why the numbers are so low today. I'm guessing I'd prefer for them to restrict it versus banning. But unfortunately, my content isn't original. There's no one. I'm pretty sure there's no one streaming right now on. I've never Googled it, you know. I've never checked to see if there's anyone using the 215 technique on YouTube. I doubt it though. I don't think I've ever seen any other streamer use the 215 technique, and then whenever I search for the 215 technique, it's only my stuff that actually come up. How more original can this be? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hire a team. I think I need a team. I don't think I can. It seems as if I can't do this by myself or something. Well, that's what it's trying to point towards. All right, good. So at TP, ooh, all right, nice. All right, almost at TP2, not TP2, TP3 here. My friends, pretty decent start here for the week, 7:59 a.m. as well. Let's see what London is going to do. It hasn't given me TP3 as yet, but I want to see what the London boys and gals are going to do here. If they're going to push it all the way across my TP3 or what they're going to do. All right, so let's see. This is the London opening right now. They tend to normally go with the trend. So let's see what they're going to do. Friday, I missed an entry today. I woke up too late. Best trader. Yeah, well, it happens, especially when you're partying all weekends. It's now 8 o'clock. Want to see if we can get that full TP3 smashed right there. So what I'll do when it hits that, when the TP3 is hit, I'll only just leave a small portion of my position off on the table, and what I'll do, money, I'll just go for I'll go for the what price did you say, money? Um, what was the price you said, money? Tree. Da da da. 3340. Yeah. So I'll leave a portion on, and see if we can get it. Hey, farm, welcome, my friend. I'll leave a portion on and see if we can actually go to 3340. So let's see if we can get that full TP3 hit. If we can get that full TP hit, then that would be spectacular. All right, so we're getting a little pullback here. Getting a little pullback here. Getting also a pullback here on EU as well. You see, that's why it's so good just to wait for a price to actually do pullback into your zone as well. Especially if you're looking at it as well. If you're using DXY to help you with or DXY or anything equivalent to it, if you're using it to help you with any trade entries, you also want to, anytime it's crossing into a zone, whether it's from zone 1 to zone 0 or whatever you name your zones, there is going to, you always have to anticipate some reaction. Always have to anticipate some reaction. As you can see, it did break into the zone, but it's pulling back a bit, and that's why it's doing that on EU. So I'm waiting for EU now to just come back into the zone, maybe as close to the point of interest as possible, and then I'll look to see what happens from there. We also at 2.6k likes here on TikTok. If we could just get those likes up to 3,000, I would really appreciate it. Getting a very strong pullback here as well. Getting a very strong pullback here as well. Well, that's fine. Just need to hold on just a little bit more, because this 50-minute candle on the XY is about to flip. And when that does flip, we should be seeing gold hitting that that TP. That TP3. All right, good. How are you looking now, S? Are you still holding, or are you still... Yeah, because TP3, as I said, if we... Yeah, it's still in. All right, that's nice, S. If EU is crossing the buy line, all right, good. So as I said, looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see that this was a pretty strong resistance area. We had two massive 4-hour candles which came into this range and rejected. All right, so that could be one of the reasons why we're getting such a strong pullback right now. But just trying to find an entry for EU. Yeah, I'm waiting for an entry on EU as well. Price is coming back into the zone nicely. If it comes back and tests that point of interest, that would be perfect, to be honest. And then I could just re-wait for a decent entry here on EU. So EU is cooking right now. The pot is just not ready as yet. Gold is decent. It has done what it's supposed to do, and it has fed those who were at the dinner table. Or breakfast, if you want to put it that. Yeah, it should be breakfast because it's now still 8 o'clock here in London. Alright, good. So that's doing its thing. EU is back in the zone. We have to see a flip here on DXY. So this candle more than likely might very well just reject from this area to actually push back down here as well. But let's see. Let us see. Nice, almost what? Yeah, almost 100 pips. That and I think that was a pretty decent entry. A pretty decent. This was a textbook entry one model here on the 215 technique textbook. It was a perfect entry one model here. So as you can see, price came into the zone at 6:30. We marked out that 215 zone, right? Marked out that 215 zone. Price came in. Price broke above the zone, tested that 15-minute rejection line. It not only did it test it by a John Wick, but it also tested with a body candle close as well. Tested that 15-minute rejection line. Then what it did is that it rejected inside the zone, closed inside the zone. Then all I needed to see was another candle close between my buy line and my 15-minute rejection line. And what this candle did, it closed perfectly on that 15-minute rejection line. It closed so close to it, which it almost could have invalidated that entry, but it was just perfect indeed. So pretty decent run. Sadly, it's rejecting from TP3. However, I'm pretty sure that you guys have already taken your profits that you should. So that's good. Almost 100 pips there on gold already. Remember guys, if you want to know how to use the 215 technique to look for entries, please definitely head on over to YouTube and search in 215 trades. Doing a face reveal, or a face reveal somewhat. Not sure if tomorrow's stream is good. Maybe not tomorrow's stream, maybe Wednesday's stream might have it on there as well. All right, let's look at DXY. All right, so DXY is coming down as well. Need to do a video on DXY as well, just to help you guys out. So you can see where it's rejecting from that strong support area before, which is now a resistance. So if this 15-minute candle can actually flip and close red, then that would be smooth, because at that point in time we could see EU looking to go higher. Would love to see EU actually not just reject from where it is right now, but I would love to see it actually come down a bit more from that area where it is, test that point of interest, and then close above. Still can't find DXY. What broker do you use? Are you using TradingView by chance? It's called the US dollar index. If you can't find it by the acronym, is that an acronym or is that an abbreviation? Is DXY an acronym? No, that's an abbreviation. What's an acronym? Is acronym like the opposite of a word? Hold on, I'm going back to high school here. Let me Google that. What's an acronym? An acronym, an abbreviation formed from the initial. Oh, so an acronym is an abbreviation. Okay. Oh, so I was partially right, I guess. So you're using 212, trading 21. I used to use that. Hold on, let me see. Trading 212. Let's see. I can't see them on here. The dollar indexes are on there, but I think it's only showing like the futures. So there's dollar index for the 13th of June. That's expired on the 13th of June. Yeah, I just found it. Come on, S, you're not looking for it. So if you search for dollar index, it should show you one that expires in the 13th of June, and then that basically would be the one that you should be looking for. Yeah, it's on there. So search for it. Let me know if you found it. But yeah, it's definitely on there. I saw that one that ends on another date. So there are two of them. I saw that there's one that expires in September, and there's also one that expires in June. When I was just looking just now, there's one that expires in September, and there was one that expires in June. So I'll go for the June one. I'm not sure what the September one really is, but go for the June one. Have you found it now? All right, gold is going nicely. All right, cool. All right, DXY is flipping. That's good as well. So I'm not too worried about gold. I know that we're going to get that TP3, full TP3 here on gold. But EU is where I'd like to take an entry here on EU. But it's all depending on how this candle close, how this 5-minute candle close. Because if it closed too far away from the zone again, then I'm not going to take it. So you use 212 for entries as well? Is that the platform you use to take entries on? I've never seen anyone do that before. I used to do it, but I only used to do it for like stocks and stuff like that. For today, yeah, okay. Yeah, EU is rejecting. Yeah, wait a minute. Did it touch a 30-minute resistance? This, oh yeah. Touch this one. That's why you're behaving like that. Wow, that's a strong rejection. That. It's now 8:12 a.m. as well. Trading view normally. Okay, but if you're using trading view, you shouldn't have any issues finding the XY. So we're going up until 8:30 a.m. I don't think I'm going to be taking any more entries here on gold today. I would love to take an entry here on EU though. So I'm waiting to see if we're going to get one confirmed here as well. So ultimately, I just want to see a 5-minute candle close just above the buy line, just below this little white line that I've marked here, and I'll look to see if I can go in for it. Okay, beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's very beautiful, very, very beautiful. All right, come on, just take us across that line. Just take us across that line. Come on, don't tease us like that. Just take us across the line. All right, so we are 2,600 likes. Can we just get those likes up to 5,000? We would really appreciate it. And if you have learned something today from today's live stream, please ensure you also go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is at 215 Trades on YouTube. So I'm counting that as DP3 hit already. Money, I've already extended the position as well to that price point, that 3340, which you have said. So let's see how Let's see how it works out. So 3G40 is going to be my final TP on that. Only just a small portion of the position I have left on there. Wow, that's a massive rejection. Look at that. And that's one of the reasons as well. I didn't want to take an entry all the way here, above here, because that would have been such a horrible thing to do when this candle closed up here. Look at that. That was all the way back down. We never saw the light of day with that entry. See, Forex came down, tested zone 0, and is now rejecting. So that means that we could actually be seeing some rejections coming um, from gold here. Okay. S, did you take a position already on EU? Or were you looking for another? What were you doing? Not yet. Okay. Sylvia, has Daniel entered as yet? Once again, please. What? What did I do? All right, look at DXY. So DXY is rejecting from that strong support area which it had before. So let's see what's gonna happen here. So we're basically hit full TP already here on that gold entry, anyways. So now I'm just waiting to see. No, I was just asking if Daniel has entered as yet. So wanted to see as well if we could get a 5-minute candle closure above here. If I can get a 5-minute candle closure above my buy line, then I'll just look to take that long position in this instance here, putting my SL maybe just about at my point of interest, going about 8 or 7 pips there, about targeting my higher time frame resistance as my overall targets as well. But need to see this 50-minute candle here on DXY definitely needs to flip and continue to push downwards towards crossing the border for zone 0. Gonna hold it at least 334. Yeah, so I've already taken off my partials already and all of that, and I did I'm going to hold it as well until 3340 as Manny said as well. So let's see how that works out. Let's go back to EU. Still have about 5 minutes. We also have about 10 minutes left here on stream. Just a moment. Yeah, so you can see DXY is rejecting, coming back. But this 5-minute candle, we do have some time left on this 5-minute candle. Not sure if it's gonna close where I want it to close. And as I said, I'm not forcing any entries. I'm not gonna enter early or anything. It has to follow the 215 rule how I want it to. So I'm getting back into that discipline regime of just waiting. So I'm not gonna force it, not gonna take it any early than normal. Okay, well, if he hasn't taken many entries yet, and we're gonna close stream in a few minutes, I guess maybe you can take an entry with him today. Maybe that's a plan. Buy is fixing up nicely right here, but it hasn't confirmed just as yet. It's now 8:21 a.m. here as well. Remember, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to 215 Trades, please ensure you go ahead and do so. S, I'm not sure. Have you? I think it's the first time actually seeing you on. Is this your first time on stream, or have you just been silently here supporting in the background? Your second time, okay. Nice. And have you already subscribed to the YouTube channel as here? Was here on Friday. How did Friday go for us? Oh no, we didn't. Oh, on Friday we didn't get that entry on stream on Friday, but it did confirm after the stream. Not sure if anyone was tracking the price action to see that it did confirm on after the stream for gold. So if this candle closes in this little range here, then I'll take a jab at that long here on EU. Nice, nice. That's a pretty decent ping pong. And you basically took that. What you took one entry today, and you basically got all of that in one entry. One minute till this candle close. Needs to close in this little range here. Yeah, it's gonna. It's pushing. Yeah. Yeah, EU. You could have entered early. Just that I'm sticking to. I've been a naughty boy when it comes down to my rules, so I'm trying to build back that discipline. Right now, you could have already entered based off the push, but I'm saying no, I'm not doing it. So if I miss out, I just miss out on that one. But I could have already entered early with the rejection from here as well. And look at it go. Look at it go. All right, bye bye EU. All right, that's good. So full TP hit on that, still counting. Full TP hit on that, still counting. So now ultimately, I'm just gonna hold this position until 3340, as Money had suggested. So let's see how this one works out. Money, well, I've already said it already, so that's gonna be my full extended TP on that one. But TP3 has already hit, and that's over. That should be now about 100 pip on that move alone. So that's good. That's a very good start of the day today, and it's still counting. Sadly, EU is so aggressive. It basically broken my entry criteria. So I'm not gonna take that entry here on EU anyways. I hope it hits 3340. Well, it's there's no risk on the board. Only just small portion of my position is left, so let's see. Even though if it still goes to 3340, that's still like still going to be like 500 pounds. So let's see what happens if it continues to go up there. Sadly, EU has come in to the zone. It's closing above the zone, however it's not closing in a safe area for me to look to take longs, and I am not going to enter early today without it actually do confirming an entry as well. So I'm sticking to my rules here. It's now 8:25 a.m. Still have about 5 minutes left on stream. So, but I'm just still waiting just to see on EU if I can get some price action here on EU. For those who are here at the beginning of the stream, you should be up nicely because that was 100 pip move there just for you guys. All right. However, I am now holding this position until 3340. So congratulations to those who did take that entry. Not sure if anyone did. Not sure if anyone on YouTube did. Not see. No one is. No. YouTube is shy today. No one is speaking on YouTube. So I'm not sure if anyone did. TikTok, I believe a few of you guys did take that entry on TikTok. So congrats to you guys, and for those who also entered late as well and was able to take some profits on that, then congrats to you. All right, so EU is coming back down to the zone. I want to see. I'm gonna give the. So if this candle does come back and close inside the zone, come back and close inside the 215 zone, then I could consider seeing what the next candle would do. But let's see how this candle closes. Manny, are you still here or are you? So this is going to be my extended. Did I spell that right? It's going to be my extended TP. It's not going to go there right this minute, so I'm just gonna move this over a little bit more, so just keep it, just so you guys know, I've already taken part. It's basically this trade has already completed its journey. Just a small percentage of it is still on, waiting to see if it goes to that extended TP there. Well, let's see how that works out. EU right now, what's going on here? Why do I get these alerts that people are sending others universes? Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's gonna be it from me today. I really do appreciate everyone who turned out, whether you're new to the channel or old to the channel. For everyone who interacted as well, everyone who sent a like, hit the like button, hit the share button, and everyone who has basically been here. Sadly, didn't get decent confirmation for an entry here on EU that is in line with the 215 technique. S, are you Jamaican, S? So didn't get a decent entry here on EU because we haven't had a candle who has broken the 215 zone and has close to it, basically about 1 pip away from the zone. Haven't had that. Haven't seen that, so I haven't taken an entry here on EU. All right, so nothing has confirmed, and I'm not going to rush any entry. I'm not going to enter early. As I said, I'm building back that consistency of waiting for the candle to close. If it doesn't close and it breaks and it goes wherever it wants to go, then that's fine, but I'm not entering without seeing a full-on confirmation. So no entries here on EU. However, yeah, Dominican and St. Lucian and Jamaican. Wow, nice. That's a perfect mixture as well. There's a perfect mixture of the Caribbean there. So that is it for EU. No entries taken yet on EU. However, was able to successfully get an entry one. Yeah, an entry one setup. Entry here on gold, basically where price broke my 215 zone, tested that 15-minute rejection line, pulled back inside the zone with a candle close on the inside, followed by another candle close above right here. Let me just zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit more. Where price broke, test, retrace in the zone, close between my 15-minute rejection and my buy line here from that 215 zone, enter that long position, basically smashing full TP3 here on this, which is basically up 100 pips on that one move. All right, so that was brilliant today. No entries on EU as of yet, but on that note, my friend, I am going to leave you guys here today, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow, same time, same place. That's 215 trades on YouTube, and also I believe 215 trades as well on TikTok. So thank you guys so much for that, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I want to say stay safe, my friends, and happy trading.